Hi there. Did you know that increased shale gas activity is expected to generate at least $37 billion in government revenues by 2020 and $57 billion by 2035? These types of revenues can help fund many items such as road construction or even to fund LSU.
Today, we will be talking about history, formation and production, uses, prices and costs, transportation, pros and cons, and why isn't natural gas used as a common energy source.
Natural gas was utilized in ancient times. The Chinese created pipelines out of bamboo to transport gas that seeped to the surface. They used it to boil seawater to get drinkable water. It didn't make it to America until 1816, where it was used in Maryland to light streets. In 1821, William Hart dug the first well. After noticing gas bubbles rising to the surface of a creek, Hart dug a 27-foot well to try to obtain a larger flow of gas to the surface. People refer to him as the father of natural gas. One of the first major pipelines was constructed in 1891. The pipeline was 120 miles long and carried natural gas from wells in central Indiana to the city of Chicago. In 1938, the U.S. government first regulated the natural gas industry. At the time, members of the government believed that natural gas industry to be a natural monopoly. Because of the fear of possible abuse, such as charging unreasonable high prices and giving rising importance of natural gas nationwide, the Natural Gas Act was passed. Today, the natural gas industry is regulated by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the FERC.
When ancient organic matter, such as layers of plants, gases, and animals, are heated and compressed over long periods of time, natural gas is formed. These organic materials undergo chemical and physical changes as they are continuously buried by more and more basic matter over millions of years. Many processes and reactions must occur within the layers of buried resources in order for natural gas to be produced. The gas that is formed, which is also known as methane, can be found in small, fine pores in underground rock formations and hydrocarbon reservoirs, which are deep within the surface. As the organic matter is being buried, compressed, and heated, two of the main processes that occur before the formation of natural gas are diagenesis and catagenesis. Diagenesis refers to the physical and chemical changes that occur when organic matter is mixed with mud and buried under heavy layers of sediment and high levels of heat and pressure. Catagenesis is the last of the two processes and refers to the cracking process, which results in organic matter being pushed down by increasing pressure, releasing hydrocarbons and natural gas. After natural gas is formed within the subsurface, it must be produced, meaning extracted from the earth and processed in order to become a consumer fuel. A consumer fuel refers to a fuel or resource that has been cleaned and processed and is now safe for commercial use. When retrieving the gas and transporting it from within the surface to the top of the surface, you must follow many procedures. When pulling gas from the earth, wells and well drilling are always involved. Gas is extracted from the subsurface using specifically drilled and designed wells called operating or producing wells. Once the designated wells are in place and ready for use, the difference in the surface's pressure causes the natural gas to rise. Since natural gas is not a pure product, it must undergo processing, so the gas is then contained and taken for treatment in order to remove the admixtures and make the gas an available consumer fuel.
In today's day and age, natural gas has many uses. The majority of these uses are electrical power, industrial, residential, commercial, and vehicle fuel. The most popular use of natural gas is electrical power at 34% of the world's consumption, at 31% industrial use, at 20% residential use. This is used for heating elements and kitchen appliances. In commercial use, it's used by 14% of the world. This is also used as heating element in different appliances. And only at 1% is vehicle fuel. This is used for the automobile engine in creating different electrical power.
Natural gas supplies over half the energy consumed by the residential and commercial customers. This surplus in consumption of natural gas has forced the price to increase dramatically, as well as discover better alternative energy sources. The most reliable method of reducing the price and the consumption of natural gas is the discovery of the new alternative resources and more people using them. As we consume more supply of non-renewable resources, the cost to obtain them will continue to rise. Eventually, the price will hit a point to where people would not be able to afford it. In 2010, the national average cost of gas was $2.81, and over the past 4 years, the price has increased dramatically. In 2014, the national average cost of gas was $3.60.
Natural gas is moved through a complex system of pipelines. Pipelines move the natural gas promptly and conveniently from the origin to an area of high demand. If the natural gas is not needed immediately, it will be put into storage facilities until it is needed. The two different types of pipelines are interstate and intrastate. Interstate pipelines carry natural gas across state boundaries. Sometimes they go all the way across the country. Intrastate pipelines only carry natural gas across a certain state. The pipelines include compressor stations, metering stations, and control stations. The natural gas is compressed when it is going along the pipeline to ensure that it is compressed the whole entire time compressor stations are out on the pipeline. Metering stations help to measure the pressure of the natural gas, and then control stations are to turn off the natural gas in case of an emergency.
Natural gas has many pros and cons associated with it. The first one is that it is the cleanest of fossil fuels. The EPA awarded natural gas for meeting the United States' first goal for air quality improvement standards. This can be said because it virtually has no sulfur dioxide, a key component in acid rain. It also emits low levels of nitrogen oxide, a main ingredient involved in the formation of ground-level ozone, and also emits very low levels of soot and carbon dioxide, which have been blamed by many for global warming. Another positive is that it is reliable and efficient. 90% of the natural gas that enters the pipeline reaches you, the consumer, while only a mere 10% of the energy is lost in the process. To show this with appliances, natural gas hot water heaters can heat water as much as twice as fast as electric water heaters. To make things even better, these appliances will run even in the worst of storms because natural gas outages are rare. The natural gas pipeline is underground and does not stop when electricity goes out. This can be a good thing in Louisiana, which has major storms. One negative of natural gas is that it requires extensive infrastructure. It needs advanced infrastructure for it to be stored and also for it to be transported. It needs extensive pipelines to transport it around the United States, which means that they have to be maintained so that leakage does not occur. It also needs to be stored under high pressures. If it doesn't, then it can condense into a liquid, which would be an issue because liquid natural gas can be dangerous. Finally, the last negative is that there is fracking associated with it. This can be a major environmental issue because there can be water pollution if there's runoff of fracking chemicals, and even if it's polluting the water, then it can affect entire towns or cities. Drilling for natural gas can also lead to earthquakes. It has been linked by scientists to cause them, which become problematic. This shows that there can be issues with using and drilling for natural gas. However, no solution is perfect. The positives to using this cleaner fossil fuel heavily outweigh the negatives.
One major use of natural gas is making electricity, but local producers of coal can produce electricity for a cheaper price. You will need refineries, pipeline, and storage tanks to store all the natural gas, which leads to the need of investors. It's hard to get investors to invest in natural gas because sometimes the investors don't see money back until a couple of years, or don't see anything in return because of the price of natural gas is not high enough. Supply and demand is very important because while gas companies can produce a lot of natural gas in 1 year, it doesn't guarantee them to sell it unless they have guarantee buyers or contracts. 1/3 of coal power plants are going down by 2020 and being replaced with natural gas plants. This will increase the usage of natural gas in the United States and around the world because the United States is planning to export natural gas by 2016, which leads to the increased usage of natural gas in the upcoming years.
In summary, this is what we have talked about today. History. In 1821, William Hart dug the first well.
In 1938, the United States government first regulated the natural gas industry. Formation and production. Organic matter is heated and compressed over millions of years. Natural gas is not a pure substance. Uses. Residential 20%, commercial 14%. Prices and cost. Natural gas supplies over half the energy consumed by the residential and commercial customers. In 2010, the national average cost of gas was $2.81, and over the past 4 years, the price has increased dramatically. In 2014, the natural average of cost of gas was $3.60. Transportation. Natural gas is moved through a complex system of pipelines. The pipelines include compressor stations, metering stations, and control stations. Pros and cons. The cleanest fossil fuel. The fracking process. Why isn't natural gas used as a common energy source? Competition prices, supply, and demand.